गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारी जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन पीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी बिंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की श्री श्री पंचतत्व की श्री श्री नृसिंहदेव प्रहलाद महाराज की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्तबिंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Gura Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagra Jatang Sahagana Raghunathanitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitangscha Namong Vishnu Pādaiḥ कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिष्ये नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17. Chapter is entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. Text number 7 and 8. So text 8 is on the board. So I'll read text number 7, its translation and purport. Then we'll chant together text number 8. Text 7. tvam mṛṇāla-dhavalaḥ pādair nūna padā caran vṛṣa-rūpeṇa kim kaścit devo na parikhedayan. Translation. Then he, Parīkṣit, Mahārāja Parīkṣit, asked the bull, "Oh, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus, or are you a demigod? You have lost 3 of your legs and are moving on only one. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull?" Purport. At least up to the time of Mahārāja Parīkṣit, no one could imagine the wretched conditions of the cow and the bull. Mahārāja Parīkṣit therefore was astonished to see such a horrible scene. He inquired whether the bull was not a demigod, assuming such a wretched condition to indicate the future of the cow and the bull. So text number 8 we will chant together. Na jatu kauravendranaṁ durdanda parirambhite bhutale anupatanti asmin vinate praninam suchaha. Na jatu kauravendranaṁ durdanda parirambhite bhutale anupatanti asmin vinate praninam suchaha. Na jatu kauravendranam durdanda parirambhite bhutale anupatanti asmin Vinate praninam suchaha. Mataji's. No, not. Jatu at any time. Kaurava Indranam of the kings in the Kuru dynasty. Dordanda, strength of arms. Parirambhite, protected by. Bhutale, on the surface of the earth. Unupatanti, grieving. Asmin, up till now. Vina, 7 except. Te, you. Praninam, of the living being. Suchaha, tears in the eyes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Now for the first time in a kingdom well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on the earth has ever shed tears because of royal negligence. Purport. The protection of the lives of both the human beings and the animals is the first and foremost duty of a government. A government must not discriminate in such principles. It is simply horrible for a pure-hearted soul to see organized animal killing by the state in this age of Kali. Mahārāja Parīkṣit was lamenting for the tears in the eyes of the bull, and he was astonished to see such an unprecedented thing in his good kingdom. Men and animals were equally protected as far as life was concerned. That is the way in God's kingdom. Mukam karati vachalam pangullanghayate giring jat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurudinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram. So in this chapter, how Kali was chastised and also rewarded has been explained. So in these two verses which we are discussing today, talks about how important it is to protect the human beings and especially animals. And amongst the animals, cows and bulls are to be protected. The prime duty of a king is to give protection to the weaker section of the society. It is explained a king is supposed to protect the cows, the children, the women, the elderly people. So these are the sections of the society which need protection. So they need to be protected. But in this age of Kali, instead of giving protection, they are getting exploited. Protection and exploitation, two aspects. Good governance means protection, and bad governance means exploitation. Protection is the divine nature, and exploitation is a demoniac nature. Conditioned soul has a tendency to exploit, because we have come here to exploit the material nature. Service is the constitutional position of the Jivatma. In the spiritual world, everybody is in the mood of service. But in the material world, the tendency is to exploit others. Motivation is the same, to become happy. Everybody wants to be happy. But the consciousness in the material world is that people think that we can be happy by exploiting. So here, Parīkṣit Maharaj is showing the example of an ideal king. And he was very astonished to see a bull with tears. And he did not see killing of the bulls. He just saw a bull with tears. And that made his heart so shocked and pained. And Prabhupada is telling, it is very, very difficult for a person with soft heart to see the organized animal killing in the age of Kali. So killing has different levels. More we kill, our heart becomes harder and harder. We start our killing with the small things, killing the mosquitoes. Then it becomes a little bigger. Then start killing fishes. Then we can start killing the goats. Then we start killing the cows. Then we can start killing our own children in the womb. So there's different level of cruelty. But it begins with the small thing, but it ends with horrible things. So devotee means they should be soft-hearted. Just like the Migari, the hunter. Before he used to hunt the animals and he used to be very happy by seeing an animal half dead. That was his happiness. Different people has different source of happiness. The hunter was seeking happiness by seeing the suffering condition of the half-dead animals. And when he got the association of Narada Muni, he was transformed. When Narada Muni came to see after his transformation, he was not willing to walk. Why? Because he was thinking the insects and ants will be killed. That was the consciousness of the same hunter. So, and that is the power of a pure devotee. A pure devotee can transform an hunter to a pure devotee. So Prabhupada also transformed so many people all over the world. And Kali Yuga people to become transformed is very difficult. But by the potency of the purity of a pure devotee, in this age of Kali also, that transformation is possible. So coming to the point of giving protection, ideal king gives protection, both human beings and animals. Lord Ramchandra was the ideal king. And he declared that whoever will take shelter of my lotus feet, I will give all protection. He can be anybody. Then during the war between Ram and Ravana, that time Vibhishan had some argument with his brother Ravana. And Vibhishana left Ravana and joined Lord Ram. So when he came to join the army of Lord Ram, the army of Ram was not, they are not willing to accept him. Why? Because he is from the enemy camp. And taking somebody from enemy camp also during war is very, very dangerous. But Hanuman recommended, please take him. And Lord Ramchandra also told that how can I reject him? I already declared, whoever will come to me, I will give him protection. So Lord Ramchandra had to take Vibhishan. And not only he gave shelter to Vibhishan, he also declared that he will be the king of Lanka. Such a magnanimous nature. Then one devotee of Lord Ram said, my dear Lord, you declared that Vibhishana will be the king of Lanka. So in case Ravana changes his mind and comes to you, then what will you do? Because you already distributed Lanka to Vibhishan, where Ravana is the king. So what Ravana will do? What you will do with Ravana? He said, no problem. If he will come, then I will give him Ayodhya. It's a good idea, but what will happen to Bharat? You already gave Ayodhya to Bharat. So Lord Ram said, don't worry, I will give him Vaikuntha planet. Then the devotees inquired that you already gave Lanka, Ayodhya and also Vaikuntha planet. What he will do then? Because the king needs some place to rule over, no? He said, don't worry, I will rule in the heart of Hanuman. In the heart of Hanuman. So, the Lord is the king of the heart of the pure devotees. So, this is the level of protection of Lord Ramchandra. So once Lord Ramchandra, while walking in the forest, some thorns pierced his lotus feet. So while Mother Sita was massaging his lotus feet, she was trying to take out the thorn. Then Lord Ramchandra said, don't take it out. You don't know, I declared, whoever takes shelter of my lotus feet, I don't reject them. So that is the level of protection Lord Ramchandra gives. So that's why he is the ideal king. And that quality comes from the Lord. Every quality comes from the Lord only, because the Lord is the origin of everything. Lord also declared that I give protection to my devotees. Name bhakta pranasati. My devotees will never perish. And one of the symptoms of Saranagati is that to have complete faith that Krishna will give protection. Avasya rakhibya Krishna. That is a symptom of surrender. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Bhakti means surrender. Surrender means bhakti. And there are 6 limbs of surrender. And one of the limbs is to have complete faith that Krishna will give protection. So ideal example is Prahlad Maharaj. Now Nrsingadev's appearance is coming. So we should prepare our consciousness in that way. So Prahlad Maharaj is the character by which we get inspiration that in any difficult situation, Krishna is there, provided we remember him. So Prahlad Maharaj is a character who is demonstrating the limb of bhakti. Which limb of bhakti? Always remember Krishna. Smaranam. Because that is the essence of bhakti. It is explained, whatever has been spoken in Vedas has been spoken in Bhagavad Gita. Essence of Veda is in Bhagavad Gita. And whatever has been spoken in Bhagavad Gita in 18 chapters has been spoken in the middle 6 chapters. Because first 6 chapters talks about Karma Yoga, last 6 chapters talk about Jnana Yoga, and middle 6 chapters talk about Bhakti Yoga. So whatever has been spoken in Bhagavad Gita has been spoken in the middle 6 chapters. And whatever has been spoken in the middle 6 chapter has been spoken in the 9th chapter. And whatever has been spoken in 9th chapter has been spoken in the last verse of 9th chapter. That is Manmana Bhava. Think of me. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna is the essence of all rules and regulations of bhakti. And Rupa Goswami mentions that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Everything we are doing, the purpose is to remember Krishna. Because when we forget Krishna, we are in the material world. And when we remember Krishna, we are in the spiritual world. Spiritual world means remembrance of Krishna. Material world means forgetfulness of Krishna. So Krishna gives protection to those devotees who remember him. So Prahlad Maharaj was planned to be killed by his own father, Hiranyakashipu. And what was the mistake on the part of Prahlad Maharaj? Prahlad Maharaj did not accept Hiranyakashipu as God. Prahlad Maharaj accepted Vishnu, Narayan as God. That is the crime Prahlad Maharaj committed. That he did not accept Hiranyakashipu as the supreme authority. When Narad Muni was telling that the way Hiranyakashipu was terrorizing the whole world, even Narad Muni was glorifying Hiranyakashipu. Everybody was accepting Hiranyakashipu as God. Everybody used to glorify Hiranyakashipu Bhagavan ki jai. That was the situation. All the demigods are the maid servants of Hiranyakashipu. So that was the situation. In that situation, Prahlad Maharaj was telling Hiranyakashipu that you are in Maya, you should go to the forest. Then when he was asked that what is the essence of all knowledge, he said, Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Sparanam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dashram Shakham Atma Nivedanam. Navada Bhakti. How much fearlessness you can have when you are addressing a person who is your father, but more important than that, he is Hiranyakashipu. And that time he was the God of the whole universe, accepted by everyone. Lovingly or with fear, whatever may be the reason. But he was accepted as the Supreme Lord. But Prahlad Maharaj was fearless. That is the quality of a devotee. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says one of the quality of a devotee is fearless. He has no fear. The greatest fear of this world is death. So Prahlad Maharaj was not scared of death. And that is a symptom of a surrendered soul. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, Rakhobi, Marobi, Jo Ichha Tuhara. Whether you keep me alive or you want to kill me, that's up to you. For a devotee, living and dying is same. Shastra explains. Srila Prabhupada came here in Mayapur and he was drinking water. After that he said, living and dying in Mayapur is the same. When you live in Mayapur, you are living in Vaikuntha planet, and when you leave this place by dying, you go to the spiritual world. A devotee, where he is alive in this body, he will serve Krishna, and when he leave his body, he will get another body and serve Krishna. What is the difference? Because he is situated in eternity. Devotional service is eternal. So for a devotee who is always remembering Krishna, he is out of the influence of time. The Kala, time, cannot do anything to a person who is always remembering Krishna. Why we are influenced by time in this material world? Because we don't remember Krishna. As soon as we remember Krishna, influence of time is gone. That is the power of remembering Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj, the way he was tortured, unthinkable. He was put into the place where lot of venomous snakes were there. Snakes were biting him. But nothing was happening. He was put into the fire. He was thrown from the mountain. He was put under the legs of elephants. So many ways he was tortured. But he was fearless. Nothing was happening to him. Why? Because Krishna was protecting him. So you may think, oh, that happened in Satyayuga. It will not happen today. Principle of protection by Krishna is eternal. It happened in Satyayuga, it happened in Treta-yuga, it happened in Dwapar-yuga, it also happened in Kali-yuga. It's happening in Kali-yuga. And the example is Haridas Thakur. Prahlad Maharaj character and Haridas Thakur character is similar. So Prahlad Maharaj was remembering Vishnu and Haridas Thakur were always chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Kazi called him that you are chanting Hindu God's name, but I will forgive you, provided you stop chanting. So Haridas Thakur said, how can I stop chanting? I cannot stay for a moment without chanting the holy name of the Lord. Then Kazi said, if you don't give up chanting, then you have to give up your body. You will be killed. Then Haridas Thakur replied, Khando khando hai deho jai jodi pran, tobu bodone ami na chhari hari naam. He declared that you can cut my body into pieces, but I will keep on chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the conviction. That is the power of taking shelter. Because he has firm faith that Krishna is going to protect him. And Mahaprabhu reciprocated. Mahaprabhu sent his Sudarshan Chakra. So that's why whoever is chanting the holy name of the Lord purely, taking full shelter of the holy name, he is protected by Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra moves around him to give him protection. That is the power of pure chanting of the holy name. So Mahaprabhu sent Sudarshan Chakra to kill all these people, those who are beating him in 22 marketplaces. So beating in 22 marketplaces also to be understood very carefully. The history says, previously, whoever was beaten up in 1 or 2 marketplaces, they are either dead or surrendered. That was a level of beating. And that kind of beating was happening to Haridas Thakur in 22 marketplaces. And the Qazi's people were so tired after beating, and they were also scared because Qazi told, kill him, otherwise he will be killed. Then Qazi's people told, Haridas, please die, otherwise we will be killed. Then Haridas Thakur entered into Samadhi. That is another story. But while he was beaten up in 22 marketplaces, nothing was happening to Haridas Thakur. Why? Because his body was spiritualized. He was fully Krishna conscious. Although Sudarshan Chakra came back, still he was protected. Why? Because Mahaprabhu asked Sudarshan that I sent you to kill all these people, but without following my order you came back. How come? You are my assistant. Assistant should follow the master. He said, my dear Lord and Master, I only followed you. How come? I told you to kill them, but you came back without killing them. How you are following my order? Then Sudarshan said, my dear Lord, you already declared that your devotee is greater than you. Have you declared or not? Mahaprabhu said, yes. You are telling to kill them, but your pure devotee, your great devotee, Haridas, is telling to forgive them. So what can I do? I came back. Said Mahaprabhu thought that now my main weapon is not working. What can I do now? He had to go personally. So for a devotee like Haridas Thakur, Krishna does not use Sudarshan Chakra to give protection. He personally protects that devotee. So Mahaprabhu came and he has put his own back on the back of Haridas Thakur and taking all the beating. And in Siva Shangan, Mahaprabhu was telling Haridas, can you remember Haridas? Do you believe that I personally came to protect you? Then he opened his chadar and there was a red mark at the back of Mahaprabhu to give Haridas the confidence, yes, he came. And Haridas Thakur, by seeing the red mark, fainted on the ground unconscious. So Krishna does not break his promise, especially when promise is given through his devotee. He breaks his own promise because Krishna is expert in breaking rules and regulations and promises. But he follows one rule very strictly and he never breaks that rule. That is protecting the devotees, pleasing the devotees. He never fails in that. That's why he is known as Achyuta. So in protection, guarantee is 100%. Krishna never fails to protect his devotees. That's why his pure representative also has the same mood. The kings are supposed to be the representative of the Lord. And that's why they are also very, very expert in giving protection to the citizens. And that was the system. But in Kali Yuga, everything has become degraded. So that's why there is no governance. And left, right and center animal killing is going on. And innocent people are tortured. They are exploited, killed. And that shows that that is not a good governance. Good governance means both human beings and animals are to be protected. So that is the essence of the verse today. So it's 8:45 and that is the time to complete the discussion and it's the time for question answer. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You have any comment or question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks for one more amazing lecture.
I had a bad voice today, sorry for that.
Thanks for one more amazing lecture. When in morning I heard your name, announcement, so I thought one more amazing lecture is coming. So my two questions are there. First question, as you said, it is difficult to transform people in Kali Yuga, but we can see in another way also, because people in Kali Yuga are more frustrated. As we see, people who are transferred are from that countries where people were, and hippies, they were more frustrated. So for preachers, it is easy to transfer, especially because people in Kali Yuga so much suffering and so much things are and government is not even favorable. So it is so easy to transform people to this Krishna consciousness. So you can clarify on this point,
Yeah, answer can be both yes and no. People are frustrated, but out of frustration in Kali Yuga they don't come to Krishna. They take shelter of something else. They take shelter of intoxications, other bad habits, thinking that forgetting those, they will be happy. So that's the expression of frustration in this age of Kali. Because pious people, when they are frustrated, they come to Krishna. Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. These four kinds of people come to Krishna. So in Kali Yuga, most of the people are Artho. They are in distress. But you have to be pious. Otherwise, very difficult to come to Krishna. You'll take shelter of some demoniac things.
But even after intoxication also they don't get happiness, because
they think, because they don't know the positive alternative, they think that is the alternative. Whatever is available, they take shelter.
My second doubt is as you said, remembrance. So if person is if person is chanting whole day, so that will be called as a remembrance. So because while chanting, our mind is keep on wandering here and there. So we will take it as a remembrance, or no? We can't take it as a remembrance.
It's not whether we take or don't take. If you remember Krishna, that is remembrance. If you don't remember Krishna, that is not remembrance. It's not a question of taking, not taking. Somebody told Prabhupada, how can I remember Krishna while I am sleeping? So Prabhupada said, try to remember Krishna when you are awake. So most important time of our sadhana is chanting, and that time mind goes on here and there. Either they sleep or their mind goes on here and there. Because in Kali Yuga, most of the people are governed by mode of passion and ignorance. Those are in ignorance, they sleep, and those are in passion, they think something else other than the holy name.
Thank you.
To this side. One Prabhuji or Mataji, is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. This particular verse in Bhagavad Gita, Na me bhakta pranashati, where Krishna declared,
Not working? I can hear, but others may not hear. Change the battery if the battery is a problem. Somebody is there. Go check. Yes. Yeah, very good question. So, as soon as people read this verse, they said, Prabhu, devotees will not die. What to talk about devotees? No living entity dies. They are eternal. Only the body dies, which is temporary by nature. But here, Name Bhakta Pranashati has different explanation, but main explanation is that Krishna protects his pure devotional service. Krishna protects his devotion. That is the meaning of Name Bhakta Pranashati. He will always remember Krishna. Okay. Just like Parīkṣit Maharaj, some may ask that he was protected in the womb, but he was cursed to die in 7 days. How it works? So he is protected in the womb also, he protected in that also. Because in both situations, he was remembering Krishna. If you remember Krishna, that is the protection. Because physical body is going to die anyway. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In your lecture you have mentioned that even Narada Muni had accepted Hiranyakashipu as supreme.
Not accepted. The devotees are very intelligent, no? They know how to live in difficult situation.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to check. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Krishna je bhaje se baro chatur. Those who chant the holy name, they are very intelligent. Yes.
Bhakti True Swami used to talk a lot about the need for unification, or like also Jayapataka Swami was told that he should try to unify the Gaudiya Math. And we hear a lot about unification, that yoga means union. But devotees have so many different understandings of Krishna consciousness, different viewpoints. Like just during kirtan, we have some devotees say that we should just follow Prabhupada's example and chant Hare Krishna, and other people say no, it's necessary to chant Jai. We have to have many Jais and Hari Bols and maybe some more Jais. So if we can't unify even on kirtan, I could spend the whole day giving a list of things that devotees disagree upon. So how can we unify when there's so much difference?
That's why Prabhupada said unity in diversity. That is spiritual world. Diversity has to be there, but when there is Krishna consciousness, there will be unification. So in order to have unity, you should have a unifying authority. That person should be one person. In the spiritual world, there are so many varieties, but there is one principle, how to please Krishna. That is a unifying principle. So in ISKCON, we can be unified when we accept Prabhupada as the founder Acharya, and his teachings is ultimate teachings to keep our society united. If it will become two, then it will be divided. There is nothing wrong to have difference of ideas, but when we follow some Acharya, then we should be following that Acharya only. We respect other Acharyas, but we follow only one. That is chastity means having one husband. So chastity in Guru Parampara means following one Acharya, but respecting everyone. So that's my understanding. In ISKCON, we can be unified if Prabhupada is the center. If you want to unify all other Gauriya Sampradaya, there should be one person whom everybody accepts. Then we can be unified. All other Vaishnava Sampradaya, they can be unified if they accept someone else. We cannot have multiple people as a center and get unified. It's not possible. There should be a common acceptance of a person. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your wonderful class. Always that I hear classes that you give, I feel like so much inspiration, and it's these feelings like you always put this point so clear about the protection of Krishna the special character of Krishna. And today I was feeling like I want to know more about how I can please Krishna. Like I feel little desperate because I feel like in my internal world I cannot remember so much Krishna naturally. But my question for you is like, I want really please him, and how is the system for please him? Like what I can do really for try to keep myself purified, because I can't remember him easily.
So your question is how to please Krishna?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So best way to please Krishna is to please his devotee. That is the best way to please Krishna. Because we cannot please Krishna directly. So when we please his pure representative by our service, then that pleases Krishna the most. Because devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. Okay? And that is a difficult part. We like to interact with Krishna because Krishna does not interfere. But we don't like to interact with the devotees because they interfere. Guru is nice as long as he does not interfere. Right? We don't want interference because we have our own way of thinking and own way of functioning. And we are convinced that is the best way of functioning. So because of that, very difficult to have people. So Krishna consciousness means giving space to some people who can interfere in our life and guide us. Then we will get the chance to please Krishna. Okay?
I want to say something like, one time in one parikram, I asked for you this same question, like how I can please my guru like this, like, and how we please the senior devotees. And you tell something like, there is like levels, like there is, if you cannot directly the guru, also you have the president of the temple, of the leader of brahmacharis, of your leader, or, and I wanted to hear this, like how I can please my guru, but if I am not able, how I can get this mercy pleasing the devotees in general, or how I can...
Yes, Mahaprabhu shows that when Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to serve him directly, he was refused. Then he took shelter of Nityananda Prabhu at Panihati. Then Nityananda Prabhu told, feed the Vaishnavas. When Raghunath Das Goswami fed the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavas are very happy, then Nityananda Prabhu gave him blessings. So root is serving the devotees. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for nice class. Prabhuji, as you mentioned that Srila Prabhupada told that if we remember Krishna in the daytime, so that in the night also we can...
Not daytime, awakened state. In daytime also you can sleep.
In the constant state, yes, Prabhu.
What is day, what is night is very relative.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, especially in the when we sleep 6 to 7 hours, we cannot remember. Even in the conscious states, means in the daytime, when we do not sleep, also sometimes we cannot remember. So
sometimes, very good. You have a very good performance. Our situation is that we sleep during japa, and our goal is to do japa during sleep. So it's a journey. So at least we should be awake during japa. That is a great performance. If we can remain awake for 16 rounds, that is very, very good. Then we should try to hear. Prabhupada said each and every syllable has to be heard properly. That's why Prabhupada used to say, sit properly, hear attentively. That is the meaning of proper chanting. Then other good qualities of chanting will manifest. So come to the basics. That is the system. Huh?
Seva. Daytime seva also involved.
Yeah, japa is also seva, but japa is sadhana bhakti. Prabhupada said we have to have a balance. If you, as a sadhaka, there should be a balance. Prabhupada said we cannot do japa like Haridas Thakur used to do. That's why you need some practical service. That's why it is said if you do too much seva, no sadhana. Now before that, if you do too much sadhana, no seva, you become lazy. And if you do too much seva and no sadhana, you become crazy. And Prabhupada said ISKCON is not meant for lazy and crazy people. There should be a balance. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara